Cheers, baby girl.
Cheers.
Love you,
Hey
Ty.
guys, so we have opened a beer. for the coolest episode of all.
Oh.
Because here with me at Blue Studios, which is my home studio,
Which is beautiful.
which is awesome. I really have a great friend of mine, someone I respect dearly, someone I look up to, one of the most talented vocalists, artists, performers that I have ever met. So glad I got to meet you because I learned so much just by watching you. Every time I'm watching you sing, look, I got fucking goosebumps. Every time I see you sing, I tell myself, I need to get my shit together. Look at that growl. I'm not the only one that says that. I know that Nick Jarrett from Nothing But the Blues, from KKJZ 88.1 has also named you.
About my growl.
About your growl.
Yeah.
Like whiskey after midnight.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That should be the name of your album. I'm just saying.
I agree.
It's amazing. Here, it's the blues, rock, and any other kind of genre that you make this girl sing, she will care a fucking turn.
I love you, Toddy.
Thanks, man. Thanks
You're
for
too
coming
kind.
hang
You're
out
too
with
kind.
me. Now I'm just stating the obvious. So
Coming from you, that's a real compliment, woman.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I just love hanging out with you.
I love hanging out with you too.
Let's just hang out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
In your new blue
In
studio.
my Blue Studio. Awesome. Everybody's invited to come see the Blue Studio. Anyhow, I just wanted to just touch base with you. How's it been, the quarantine? Do you hate it? Do you love it?
That's a mixed one. I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons. If I could obviously state, obviously. It sucks in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of people have lost work and a lot of people, like all around the world, and what we're all facing around here with loss of income and whether or not you're getting your government assistance if you were self-employed or
It's tough,
the
man.
W-2s and whatever's going on with that, and you've got people who are stuck at home with situations that aren't the best. There's such an increase in those negative things. Touring's
Yeah.
all stopped, music's all stopped.
Yeah.
We can't go play music
know.
and hang out at our venues that we
When was
love
the
to go
last
to
time
so
you
much.
had so
and-
much time off?
Gosh, I don't know.
You don't even know.
Well,
I don't fucking know.
I know. I mean, I've been a 3-job Jill of all trades, my whole life, pretty
Hey,
much
man.
always
Good
working.
for you. Yeah.
But yeah, these last couple years, not so heavy, doing some bartending and stuff, trying to focus on music and stuff. But I think about the quarantine too is, aside from the negative effects, is that it is kind of a really cool opportunity for people to slow down and really take a look at what is happening in their life outside of the normal,
Right.
and come together and be supportive and kind of all in the same boat together kind of thing. You can work on projects you've been putting off. You can
Indulge on the stuff you get to do at home.
spend time that we all do whatever we do with, take for granted, use too much of, don't supply ourselves
Man,
enough
for hanging
with.
out with you was hard. I had to contact you 2 weeks ahead of time. Go like, hey, do you have a day off? Do you want to come over, have some beers? Who the hell lives like that?
I know,
We do,
right?
because
It's
you're on the
crazy.
road a lot. I know that you went to Vegas, you went to Florida, you were doing all this stuff, plus the whiskey jams you're playing and the standing room on Sundays you were
Right,
playing.
right.
And you have a project with Tommy, and you have your own project, you're writing your songs and you're trying to work on your guitar playing and you're singing. I mean,
That damn guitar.
how many things can we do at the same time,
I hear ya. It's been interesting, that's for sure. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to when we can come
I was just
together
gonna
again,
ask.
and I have no idea when that's going to happen. I know some people are starting to open their doors for business with equal distanced, so many people allowed in at a time, kind of thing. I don't know when, live music is going to be coming back. But speaking of live music, you and many people have been doing this online live music.
So much of
thing
that stuff.
On Facebook and YouTube and Zoom. And
I love it.
I see that South Bay Jams come together and doing their thing.
Yeah.
And Ultimate
and you
Jam
had
Night.
actually a show with Retrofit,
Yes.
which I love those guys.
Oh, me too,
Seth,
man.
Russ, oh my God, those guys. Todd, I love hanging out with them. I love playing with them. I respect him madly. I watched your show.
I agree.
It's
couldn't
on
agree
YouTube.
more.
I saw it yesterday. They just released edited, with like really cool shots. You guys sounded fantastic.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. That was a headphone experience from World of Sound Productions.
Right.
And Adam Malavani has that business. He wants to grow that business into basically a global event, hopefully eventually, where sunset concerts and outdoor concerts and safe listening, safe distancing, like at a festival area or a campground area or whatever, or on the beach or anywhere really. You can take it anywhere because it's the machinery it takes to operate it. The equipment is minimal, and then the sound quality is studio practically sound quality.
It sounded awesome.
It's really cool, and that was really neat to put that together and do that. But having said a second ago, right before that, you were talking about doggone it,
The whiskey?
So yeah, I'm looking forward to when we can come out again.
Yep.
And play at these venues we were all playing at. It's sad to see where the world is.
I'm dying to hear you singing "I Still Miss You," which is the album. Mitch Perry just put it out.
Yes, it
you were
is.
one of the singers in the album, but you also sing the standing room jams with him on Sundays.
Absolutely.
Love coming to see you guys. It was my favorite night of the week.
Church at the Beach. We
It
used to call it
was.
Church at the Beach every Sunday, 5 to 9. Mitch Perry and friends. Man, there's been some really amazing players come through that venue.
You get
and
a little
jump
bit
on
of-
stage with Mitch. People Mitch has worked with throughout the years, and just the
Totally.
regular guys in the band.
I
Who
know.
are all just touring with Jack Russell's Great White and Robbie Krieger, and you've got Ed Roth and Dan McNay and Dickie Fleazard, Mitch, and Keith England and myself and anybody that comes through town. Delana, Shelly
Totally.
Bonet when she's in town. She was on the Music Box album that's coming out soon.
I miss it so much.
And
I
but
miss
yeah,
the
the
jams.
whiskey, I missed that too. Mitch introduced me to Pauly Z down there. He had come to sing with us at the standing room, and that's where I got my opportunity to sing on the Ultimate Jam Nights with
Oh, really?
Pauly Z and all the players that they have in the house band at the Whiskey, where it's unrehearsed. They do like 20,
You just go in-
5 songs a night and pick different musicians for different
Pauly
instruments.
Z is a brilliant mind for putting that together because it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, and you've got
I've
Chuck
played
Wright
there.
and Jessica Chase and Adam Mandel and all those guys are in on that. They've had that going for a lot of years, which has just been such a blessing to the music scene around here.
It's a great
And I've-
networking little, night, not little night, but it's a great way to not network with other artists.
Oh yeah,
and just hear new people, and people are getting work from just playing there. Playing a song, and then you get a job here playing
played there.
guitar. I've done a gig there,
Yep.
maybe twice
Phoenix
with
Rising?
Phoenix Rising, and we had Tal on drums for one of the
Tal Bergman.
yeah, for one, it was solid.
He's the drummer on.
I drooled all over the stage. I came out of there and Richie was telling me, he's like, you just played with. I was like, no. And then he told me, I was like, wow, I'm a lucky girl.
Oh my gosh, talk about it. Yeah, he is incredible. I mean, speaking of Tal, he's the drummer for MPG's
Right.
music project, and it was his studio where we did a lot of the recording for that album, and it was just it's just such an iconic place. It used to be Quincy Jones's place.
I know.
And so many iconic artists have had have recorded there. So to have the opportunity to not only record there, but with the people that I was recording with, and so
Yeah.
blessed to be putting music together, to be chosen on this project
Man,
by
that-
Mitch Perry. Tal's the drummer for that project.
You
and
should
it's
have
his
been picked
studio.
because you're amazing and you
Oh,
fit
thank
right
you.
in. You know, you bring so much to it.
Thank you.
You're the
Thank
perfect singer for it. It's one of my favorite tracks. I told you, I Still Miss You, which is available on Spotify. It's available on YouTube. It's available at the Mitch Perry Group website, which is mitchperry.com.
I think it's on SoundCloud too, along with the rest of the album. Where
yes, you can find all of the songs.
Just had that video come out, which hopefully a large portion of the world has seen. For Believe, that during coronavirus they had this amazing song, and we can't go out and shoot a video.
I know, but it's all right because it came out really good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Not just sonically, but visually too. Another one that I really like, it's the lyric video that came out for Wasted Time.
Wasted Time, yep. Awesome.
Beautiful lyrics and so well done.
Very well done.
Mitch was telling me about it and how it was all put together and who did it.
Daughter.
Yeah, Emily, I think, Amy. And anyhow, beautiful stuff. I'm gonna contact this chick. She's gonna make my next video.
It was really cool though.
It's totally cool.
The stop motion photography.
And the cut-ups.
Yeah, yep.
It must have been a lot of work.
Yeah, it did look like it was a trying task, but she did a great job with it.
She did. And now I want to check out the rest of her stuff.
I know, right?
Well, I know that you played with Mitch, but you also played with some other really cool guys. And I know that recently you've been collaborating with Tommy Pittam.
Yes.
You guys have the dual stuff. And you're doing... and he's great with you. I really like when you guys did the Hermosa Beach Company show, I believe maybe a week ago.
Yeah, it was Sunday...
It was a Memorial Day weekend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And you guys were there and you killed it. I was at a walk and I was listening to it on my walk. It was impeccable.
Nice.
It was very nice.
You.
It was you killed it. He killed it. I love his voice.
I know, me too. I know.
I love when he sings.
He didn't sing much when Tommy and I first started working together, and I heard him sing, and I was like, dude, you gotta sing more, man.
He has
you gotta
a
work
different
it out.
things.
He really does. I like how he makes songs his own. He just kind of
like you.
Well, thank you.
You do too.
Yeah, that was fun doing that. That was the Hermosa One Hermosa Music Company Springfest.
That's
and they had a lot of support from the local areas, sponsors, Sky One Credit Union or something, and all the local restaurants, and they did that all electronically, some of it live, some of it pre-recorded.
Right.
So Russ was out in Cincinnati or somewhere trying to run the thing, and there's a little moment of a glitch or here, but they just swooped right in, played some video, and brought us back on.
Aragorn and Aragorn Widerholt, Kevin Sousa, Steve Aguilar have been doing a great job with that stuff.
In there.
Yeah, Zew is actually managing.
Another
the
guy,
place.
Don't know his name, that I didn't meet until that
So
day.
great. I really
So
want
much
to go
fun.
in there and just maybe record some solo stuff whenever I can.
You
just
should.
me and the guitar, because it looks amazing.
It really does look cool. I mean, I have to say, you have a pretty awesome little studio right here, but
I don't have lights.
That's a different
I want
experience
lights.
for sure. Yeah.
So with Tommy Pittam, do you think you guys are going to do a second wind of Kara Turner's band? Is that a possibility?
Actually, Kara Turner Band has always been like a 5-piece thing, and actually, during the Kara Turner era and prior to that, where that band sort of originated from Give Me Back My Wig, we actually were 7 and 9-piece. We'd have horns come up and stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, but back to the Tommy thing. We were doing a few of our duo act shows around town before quarantine, so I know that with everything that's going on, nobody's playing anything, but I did talk to Michelle the other day about booking something down at the Hermosa Beach. Patrick Malloy's here coming up as soon as things open up again, so we're definitely gonna keep doing that. As far as a Kara Turner Band project, I've been talking about it. You know how you talk about things for a while,
Of course, yeah.
keep talking about it, and
You're only
it's
doing
time to
1,000
take-
things at the same time,
Right.
I don't blame you.
Need to do more Kara Turner Band shows. I'd like to do some more Soul Sister shows.
Yeah.
The Soul Sisters.
Man,
was
that one didn't even happen. We
a
need to
really
make it
cool
happen.
concept. You and I and Danny Armstrong were going to do
we'd
that
have to.
show, I think it was April 26th, right when quarantine
Started.
hit. It was like a week
We couldn't
before,
do it, yeah.
and we were going to do such a great show.
It was gonna be so
It was
great.
going to be so awesome.
I still have the playlist on my Spotify.
I know, me too. And the one prior to that with the other girls, you know, the whole idea of Soul Sisters is to bring powerful women singers forward and have multiple varieties of shows, maybe once or twice a year. And
So glad
I'm
you
hoping
had
to
that idea.
do something more with that, and you know, create maybe a charity event out of it and give back in
Yeah.
some way. You know,
I think it's important for the female musical community too, not that we're neglected, but for us to help each other out and like have the flag there and go like girls, go girls, and the women in business, you know. There's
Right,
another project like that called, I think, Girl Crush by Veronica Torres, and she does all women too,
right
and it's
on.
super cool. I think they did it at St. Rock. Man, I miss St. Rock. I miss going there.
I know, me too. I miss going everywhere. My gosh,
And I know that you were playing, I'm sorry, Java Man, you did a gig there right before too. That was super cool.
that
with
was
also
fun.
the headphones.
Yeah, that was well, there was Java Man, the first one and the second one that happened about, I'm going to say 4 or 5 months apart from each other. Okay. That was another one of the headphone experiences. Adam Alavani does the World of Sound productions, which
it
is
was
what
the
we
same
did.
guy.
Same guy.
Okay.
But World of Sound is a little bit of a different avenue because he wants to
Right.
expand beyond Hermosa. So he has a company called Hermosa, oh darn it.
Hermosa Old Army?
Hermosa Hermosa Harmony Project.
Cool. It's cool.
And that is anything that he does in Hermosa, he's trying to bring live music to the outside because there's been so many laws for so long governing that you can't play music out on the the sidewalk for people to enjoy. They couldn't even allow certain people to play through a loudspeaker to their patio guests because of these laws. So he's actually just rallying, trying to get the city on board with providing licenses for outdoor, music.
Silent.
So he took the headphones and he made it silent
Yeah.
so that it didn't disturb
He found a loophole.
the public. Exactly. Which has been really cool. He did 2 of those events. I was able to sing at both of those. I jumped in with Barkley Roach on the first one and had Tommy Pittam and Dave Mills.
And Pedro Reyes was one of them too, right?
Pedro
He's such a great singer.
Oh, I know. And he's so sweet.
He's
such
so
a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Yeah. I want to have him in the show.
And you guys just did a little live, didn't
We
you?
did a
Not too
live
long ago.
together. Yeah. And that was super cool. He just came here and we just
It was
talked
awesome.
about music.
It was
and played.
awesome.
Talk about venues. Like, what's your favorite venue to play?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's hard to say when you say venue because I've had some opportunities to play pretty amazing things I was fortunate enough to do. So venue wise, if you're talking about the building, gosh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Tell me about the amazing things you got to do in these venues.
Go to, for instance, last, I think it was February, Coralhead Music Fest with Mitch Perry Group, when we went down and we were the direct support for Vince Neil. It's a charity event for veterans and charity organizations. Dan was in Marathon, Florida, in the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
So we got to go down and, I was down there for like 10 days.
Awesome.
In this amazing kind
Killer
of mini
band.
vacation with a killer one-day show. The Sweet actually played at that event also, and I bring that up because we're all pretty sad right now for the passing of the founding member of Sweet, Steve Priest, which was only a couple days ago. So
God bless him.
God bless him, and he did leave behind a lot of really awesome music for us to enjoy forever,
Yeah,
and
so that was the last time you saw him.
Actually, no, I saw him play again after that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up here.
Okay, cool.
I can't remember if it was one of the Canyon Club shows or.
So you played at the Canyon Club. That's a badass venue.
Actually, yeah. Well, I saw them play there, but one night I was asked to jump in with Jack Russell's Great White, who Jack Russell was sick at the time, so they called in 3 or 4 people to sort of cover the show, and I got to go up and sing one of my all-time favorite
What?
Jack Russell's Great White songs.
Which
is
one?
Save Your Love.
Yeah.
Save Your Love.
Do you think we can find that on the internet?
You know, I have a copy of the video. I should post it. Gonna work on getting my YouTube channel together and
Yeah, please,
my
man,
old
'cause it's
website. I
awesome.
kept the name, but I'm gonna pull it back up online and try to sort of update that a little bit.
Cool.
So I'll
Can't
put all
wait.
that on there.
Let's fucking get it done.
But also Vegas, where they did the award for Mitch's Song of the Year, Al Bowman, at the Hard Rock Cafe. That was in April of 2019. And so that was pretty awesome, playing
That
at
is
Vegas Hard
fucking
Rock
awesome.
Cafe. And back in the day, in 2010, I was at Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota for 9 days. My band at the time was hired to be the backup band for another amazing musician who we've recently lost, unfortunately. His name was Charlie Brechtel. Good time Charlie Brechtel. He was the motorcyclism is the sort of religion, he called it, that he created.
I
He was
feel
a
him.
total motorcycle man, and all of his songs were about riding and the lifestyle of bikers and everything. So Sturgis was a really cool experience too.
Yeah, who was in the band with you there?
Bill Hayes was my bass player at the time, and Brian Mahoney. I couldn't say it. Brian Mahoney was on drums, and so the three of us traveled out to Sturgis, and we played a couple Harley Davidsons along the way. You
That's
know,
super
shops
cool.
had outdoor barbecues and stuff on the way. And then we played Sturgis for 9 days on the Axton
You
Hoyt
played
stage.
for 9 days in a row.
9 days, 2 shows a
Holy
day.
shit.
Yeah, it was insane. It was fun.
How was your voice after all that?
It was great, actually,
fun?
and we did like 1.5 hour shows twice a day. And I mean, granted, it was a little difficult though, I will say, because the wind was insane. Like, I look at pictures of this event, and my hair looks twice as long because the wind was like blowing it dry. You know, it was crazy. But
That's cool. Yeah, share those photos with us.
so yeah, there's a bunch of them on my Facebook page and stuff, but I'll point them out to you. But Bill Hayes, as a matter of fact, is probably one of my favorite people on earth, and he
Yeah,
is
I thought it was me.
you're there too.
Okay, whatever, right?
He has been
Where
one of
is
my
this guy
best
been?
friends
Have I met
for
him?
probably 20 years.
No shit.
He's the bass player for Give Me Back My Wig and the Kara Turner Band.
Oh wow, cool.
Until the Kara Turner Band sort of fell apart at one point, just because I was working 3 jobs and
Doing everything in a
started
little
doing other projects, and stuff like Mitch was doing.
But hey, I bet you immediately call this guy.
I definitely have had a lot of fun with that guy. He's a great guy. He's an author. He's like a 7th degree Kempo karate black belt. He owns a karate studio.
Is he single?
He's a
I'm
writer.
kidding.
He's taken, but he's a writer. He's like, call him Sir William Hayes. He wrote a book about Charlie Brechtel, a book called American Biker, which Charlie Brechtel was on the cover of that.
Do you know
book.
the name of the book?
American Biker.
I'm like, awesome.
And so yeah, he just had to bring his name up again. He's kind of the connection that got us to Sturgis at the time, because he was great friends with Charlie.
Cool.
So
cool. And
yeah.
the videos I've been checking you out on YouTube, I believe it was him. And now that you mention him, I actually remember paying attention, being like, this guy has a good vibe with Kara on stage. He was super excited. You guys were at the Voodoo Lounge. That's the gig I saw.
The bass player.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a shaved head, wearing a
shaved head.
bandana.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. He's a great guy. He's one of my best friends. But that brings me to another thing about the Voodoo Lounge. One of the guitarists I've worked with was Joe Campbell, and Joe Campbell was part of writing. Oh gosh, I'm so bad with titles. The song. Everybody knows it. Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places.
All right, yeah.
He was, I believe, on the original track for that song.
Oh, wow.
But he's played with a ton of people all over the place. He's just a really good guy and a really great guitarist. And actually called him today. I was like,
gonna ask,
thinking about him. And I don't know what's going on with him lately, quarantine and all that. So I gave him a call before I headed over here, just to check in.
You should, man. I like checking in on my people once in a while.
Yeah,
They're
me
out
too,
there
me too.
really busy doing their stuff. Sometimes it's good to stop. When you think about them, just give them a call. Don't wait. Don't let it pass. You know, you never know.
Right. You know, it's funny too because so many times you're vibing each other. Because like I'll think, oh, I gotta call Toddy, and
Man,
then
that
5
happens with
minutes
you
later
all the
you'll
time.
text me.
Totally. Same thing
And I have
here.
multiple friends that are like I'm like that with. I think I'm a little psychotic.
You
I mean
are-
psychic. And
Psychopath.
I'm psychotic. You know, hey. But I've always been that way. You can kind of feel. You can feel the people
Yeah.
that are in your life.
Yeah,
You know,
you are very strong like that.
intuitive.
Yeah, you have a real strong. Talking about strong and music. When who was the persons that introduced you to the stuff you sing these days? Like, were your parents? Where are you from? I know where you're from, but I
Well-
want you to tell them.
Well, I grew up in the panhandle of the Gulf of Mexico, right at the tippy top left, furthermost west. I make up words, you know. It's a sign of
Me too.
intelligence. The most western point of the Florida Panhandle, closest to Alabama, a town called Pensacola Beach. Pensacola, it's where the Naval Air Station is. So I grew up on the Gulf Coast. Beautiful, beautiful beaches. And I mean, my first experiences with performing started back there. But as far as influences, I mean, we always had music on, and I always sang with, you know, a broomstick in my hand, you know, with a hairbrush taped to it or whatever.
What's your first...
And I wasn't a good singer, actually, as a kid, and I just sang really loud all the time anyway. And, you know, it's funny because I see videos of, like, some of the first music projects, like the bands I played with back in the very early 90s, late 80s and stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's not something I ever want anybody to see.
I want to see
You know
it.
what I mean? So, but no, I won some contests down there, and with, you know, little festival things they had going on, thing called St. Anne's Roundup. Nobody's going to know what it is, but I moved to Mobile for a minute and met up with a couple of guys who I sang in their band, and we toured around the Gulf Coast there, playing at like Floribama Lounge, which is, I don't know if you know what Floribama Lounge is, but it's on the Florida-Alabama line, and it's a legendary music venue, and they have just, it's craziness, it's mayhem. If you've never been to the South and, you know, in the beaches, you probably wouldn't know what I'm talking about. They have an annual mullet toss on the Florida-Alabama line, and they're known worldwide. I mean, you can look them up, you'll find all kinds of crazy stuff they do, but there's been a bajillion musicians go through there. It's you know, it's pretty awesome. So I got to play there and other little places around Orange Beach and so
Usually
forth. And
rock or southern
time-
rock or blues.
Oh God, this is funny. At the time, I was playing with a guy named Connie Reeves and Tom Thurber, and we called ourselves Ricochet.
Cool.
And they were playing, each of them playing guitar, and all three of us sang. But the backing tracks Connie would create in his at-home studio, and they were on 2-minute cassette tapes. So basically you'd have a song on each side, and it was to a click to start the song. So like you couldn't vamp out on a solo
No,
or
it had
anything.
to
It was all
be-
regimented. But it's hilarious thinking back, because he had this thing set up behind him where he'd just pop the tapes in. He had a tape rack with it labeled on the edge, and he would just pop the tape in and go, oh, let's do, you know, Brown Eyed Girl or whatever. I know, right?
Wasn't
And
it
he'd pop
easier
the
to
tape
get a
in and
drummer?
push play. Oh, he wanted to just have his own show.
Yeah.
And he made all these backing tracks. He was kind of a one-man band.
Cool.
Then he decided to sort of include me and Tom, and we just made a little thing of it. But it's so funny to think about that with those tapes, because one song on each side.
It had
And
to be a lot of
it's
work
like
for
old
him.
school, man. Oh, he'd just pop it in and go play,
It was- it
and
was
would go
just-
click,
it was
click,
smooth.
click, and he'd come right in, and we knew everything to the tapes, you know. But
And how old were you then, you think?
oh my gosh, you're gonna date me, aren't you? About 20.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And
That's
so
cool.
so yeah, we played all around. I went back to Florida for a little bit, and I was playing at Pensacola Beach. I had a couple of little bands set up out there that I played with, and then I moved across the country.
Well, how did that happen? Did you just
I got this
decide,
big
or-
old Ryder truck and an auto transport trailer. And I quit all my jobs and gave my 2-week notice and
How did
packed
the
up
idea-
everything. I don't know, man. I just got to the point where I grew up in a small town, and you know, you know how small towns are. If you do, I just needed a change, really.
Yeah.
I mean, things had just gotten old and stale, and I kind of had a vision of going somewhere where music was going on.
You came to the right place.
I didn't know if I was going to go to Nashville or if I was going to go to California, and I had never been anywhere, right? So I was literally like, I was pretty, you know, I had a bad breakup, and I was all crying one day talking to a friend, and I was like, I want to leave, you know? And he's like, where do you want to go? And I was like, I don't know, Nashville or California, I don't know. And he's like, I have a brother with a room for rent in Marina Del Rey. And I was like,
coolest
get him on the phone.
Yeah.
And I literally in that moment decided to just
that was your aha
up and
fucking
change my
moment.
life. So I called the guy, and he told me about the place and when it was available, and I just made a decision in that moment. And I wrote him I got a money order to deposit on the room. I had a business at the time. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I was running my business, and I was bartending at this place on Gregory Street in downtown Pensacola, and
doing what you
I was
needed
playing
to
in
do.
the band out at the beach. And I was like, guys, I'm leaving. I told all my clients, I'm leaving town. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And then within 2 weeks, I got in that truck and drove across the country.
I love that.
Yeah, it was crazy. A lot's
for
happened
you.
since then.
A lot has happened, and a lot more is going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't wait to see what you're gonna do.
You know, me too. I got a lot of things sort of inside me that need to come out, you know?
You know, you came over the other day, and we were playing with the TC
wasn't
Helicon
me.
acoustic here.
It wasn't me.
And we were looping this stuff, right? And then singing, and you were creating some amazing, hilarious, and amazing shit.
That was fun.
And we were like playing all night long till 4 a.m. with this thing. And is that what you're using these days? What's your gear like these days?
You know, I've always used the SM58 as a mic, and
Yeah.
I've tried other mics, the Beta and the 7 and 57. And I don't know, that's the mic, that's my go-to.
You
I
sound
have
really good
heard
with
some
that
other
mic.
mics that are pretty incredible. Yeah. Keith uses,
Yeah.
what's it called?
I don't know, but it looks
It's purple. Oh gosh, I know the name of it, but I'm terrible with names.
I'm sure that mic would be great for you.
But I've tested Sennheiser as well, and Shure, and what is the one he has? I can't think of the name of it. But no, the TC Helicon is pretty great. I haven't delved into mine as deeply as you have.
Yours is bigger than mine.
I have a...
Yours is bigger.
That's what she said. Oh, Lord.
Holy fuck.
Oh, Todd.
But are you using that
It's-
stuff live? Have you used it?
Yeah, I've used it for delay. I've used it for harmonies and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
I don't have all the presets figured out. You can plug your guitar into it and
Yeah.
a microphone into it. It's a TC Helicon Voice Live 3.
I actually do
And
plug my hummingbird.
You're
to
the
it
one
just to
who
get on.
helped me
That's right.
set the
when
darn
you
thing
got
up
it.
for my little
Right.
harmony channel.
Oh my god.
But I've been singing right before quarantine at the senior center over
Right.
at Kensington. I'm singing little, hour-long live entertainment performances for the people that live there,
That's
which has
super
just
cool.
been so fun and so nice.
I'm sure they love
So I use that for my backing, vocal
it.
harmonies
Yeah,
and stuff like
because
that.
you can use the harmonies for that stuff.
And the delay
And the delay.
reverb.
Actually, really big fan of my delay from the TC Helicon.
Yeah.
Think I'm transitioning to newer stuff only because I want more channels to do my looping. But for now, for my single solo performance or even with the band, it's been helping me a lot.
Well,
and I use the Shure.
You were
for my
killing
mic.
it the other night. I got up there and was messing around.
No,
with
it was
no,
awesome.
No guitar. I was just, looping crazy vocal
What
stuff
guitar do you have at home?
over the top of
when you
everything.
do
but
play?
You created some beautiful stuff with that looper. And
Suck at
it is... no, you don't. You don't
I
suck
try.
at anything. You're amazing. You're like one of the people I have so much respect for. I look up to you so much because I see how hard you work and what you put into your music and the time and the energy that you invest. And like I'm envious of it because you know, we all have our strong points and weak points, and that's not one of my strong points. So what's the word? I aspire to be more like you. You inspire me.
You inspire me too.
You absolutely inspire
well,
me.
We're a good duo then.
Let's do a duo show.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it.
Well, we're gonna do a show.
All right.
Pretty soon.
That's it. It's determined.
And when it comes to music, are you listening to anything new, anything exciting? Maybe not new of today, but new to you?
Well, I mean, I can't say
Anything
it's new
you
to
went
me,
like,
but
whoa.
I have to say I've been listening to Music Box a lot lately, of course.
Totally,
I'm
yeah.
gonna, you know.
So have I.
Which is new and amazing,
Yeah.
and it's friggin' awesome. I don't know. I don't have a stereo radio receiver at my house.
I don't either.
So if I listen to radio, it's when I'm in my car. And, you know, it's for short periods at a time. So honestly, a lot of stuff I see and hear is on YouTube.
Well, I shared with you Marcus King.
Yes.
You would sound
And that was
super great.
awesome. And
that
you also
kid
shared...
is actually really talented.
Sorry.
No,
Billy
go ahead.
Strings.
Oh yeah, Billy Strings been like every morning. I'm hating 7 days, 7, 8, and 3. You know, like
You
I
love
it.
that
I even
guy.
learned that fucking
He
song.
looks like a lot of fun. I haven't heard as many
Yeah.
songs as you have, but you forwarded me a couple that are really great. And
See,
you were telling me to sing one of the Marcus King tunes.
Yeah, I can't. I
remember
think
which
his Rita
one.
is gone. Anyhow, they're both really
I'm trying to think
refreshing
what
these
other new
days.
music I've heard. Other than yours, I mean, I hear your new music when you come out with it on your lives and stuff. And you told me you just wrote a song this morning.
I wrote a song this morning, but I don't remember it. Thank God for the
You
phones.
recorded it, right? I have so many things on my voice memo, the little record button, and I'll think of a phrase or a melody line, either with or without a phrase, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Or words, and I'll just push record and just, you know, wind my way through it until I get the idea of what I am hearing in my head.
That's what
recorded.
I did. Yeah.
So
Not always works, but
that's
you
where
know,
you
for
go
me,
back. You got to go back and you know put it
you
down.
have this skeleton, and then you put the you know the rest of the stuff on top of it. But I think when it hits, when you hear it in your head, you gotta go in there and work on it. I was telling you, not wait too long to attack that idea, because the feeling of the song is like being angry at someone. In a couple of days, you're not that angry anymore.
Right.
So like you have to say what you need to say when you're young, angry. You know.
Right.
It's the same thing with a song to me. I'm not gonna feel the same way about writing that song
At any
if
other
I
moment.
wait too long.
Right. Well, you do such a great job at
I like to attack that
songwriting.
stuff
and
when I can.
you do, and that's what I was saying. Something I admire about you.
I was gonna ask you, how come you become such a skilled singer, vocalist? Have you ever had any lessons or something that you worked within yourself?
Well, thank you first of all for saying that.
Because it's
I'm skilled.
It's hard to have endurance and recovery time and all the tools you need and the information you need the muscle preparation with all the years that you had singing, to achieve what you have so far.
It's funny that you say all that, because for many, many years of singing, I didn't have any of that. And it's only been in the recent few years. I had one vocal lesson, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like this, coach to the stars or something, that lived in Santa Monica. And I went there, and we went through the piano drills, and I was singing what he was asking me to sing. And he's like, "You're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. You're not breathing right. You're blowing air over your vocal cords,
Right.
And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And
Right.
so I literally left there in tears, believe it or not, and just kept doing what I was doing. And I never have been that good at like warming up and cooling down, which I've learned is so important. And I've been through some periods of time when, you know, you're the only singer on stage for a 4-hour gig. And the next day or two, you can't really talk because you need to either rest or maybe you have to talk because you're bartending
Or maybe you have another gig.
or whatever. Like I was worried about that at Sturgis doing the 9-day thing, but it didn't. It worked out fine.
Well, but that was, you know, you were a little further.
It wasn't
you're
4 hours
stronger,
twice a day, you know.
Damn.
But recently, I've been getting some teletherapy during the quarantine from my otolaryngologist, who's doing a.
What did you just call me?
Right? No, she's been doing speech and voice pathology stuff with me.
Yeah.
Based on some damage that was done back in the day with
I
my vocal cords.
think we all do.
So I'm doing warm-ups and cool-downs and lip trills and cup bubbles and,
cool.
you know, humming and all that around the house.
Yeah, but I don't detect any problem or any difficulty, you know, getting out what you want when you want. And that's
most of the time.
Ass.
Thank you.
I mean,
most of the time I'm
sometimes
able to
my
eke
biggest
it out.
my biggest problem is that sometimes I can't decide which one I want to do. So I have like these two ideas in my head, and then I don't pick any of them, and then it sounds like, oh, you know, I'm going, bitch, pick one. You know,
I know exactly.
I had to actually sit down and tell myself, you gotta pick one. Even if it's not the best, but you have to pick one before you get to it.
Well, you know, learning how, that's crazy. It's so funny. But I've done that so many times. I know exactly what you're talking about. But like learning also how to not always hit the high note and, you know, hit the lower note because you can to save your voice for the next 25 songs you still have to sing that night.
Yeah.
Or, you know, one of the things I also have noticed lately is the importance of not peaking on the second verse and waiting till the ending. You know, Mitch actually, you know, helped me with that, you know, recognizing
Steve Aguilar actually taught me that.
Right.
He's like, you don't have to give it all as soon as the gate opens, you know, just take a walk in there.
Exactly.
And then, you know.
Exactly, yeah. So
but
that's been kind of
we just want to fucking wail.
I know, it's crazy.
You know,
I feel it right now.
You know I can do it. I want to do it.
I can do it all 3 times. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it is important for dynamics and
totally.
But yeah.
You know, information is power.
That's true.
And just the breathing techniques too really helps with recovery time. So if you do have 9 fucking shows in a row, you're fine.
And singing in your head voice.
And you're not hurting yourself.
Your throat voice.
Yeah.
And using
and really picking when you're going to do things if you do have to sing 4 hours in a row. You know, which I've done a lot with Phoenix Risings. I think the only reason I was able to sing that long for those many nights in a row, it's because Danny Armstrong has been giving me a lot of tools. You know?
Yeah, I've been
studying with Danny for like 5 years.
Actually, that's amazing.
I refuse to pick another vocal coach.
She's helping quite a few people around here, from what I understand. I actually made an appointment with her at one point, and I think either I had to work or she went out on a gig or something. I'm sure it's my fault, but I had an appointment and then it didn't happen, and then here we are. So I do plan on hitting her up because she's amazing.
Unbelievable.
And I've seen with my own ears
totally.
the changes that, you know, you've been going through as you've worked with her. And I have to give you the credit. Yes, you went to her, but you've been doing all this work on yourself at home, and it just really, really shows. You have to do the work, and I think it really helps that I play so much that every time I have a lesson with her, I have the chance to practice live, you know, and see if it works or not, which it always fucking does. So it's amazing every time I leave the
high voice and the things you're doing with your songs, girl.
I don't know.
It's crazy. I'm like, how does she do that over and over? I mean, that
I
is
ask myself,
not something I feel like
I go like, why did I write in this key? I keep doing that. That's a constant mistake. I'm gonna write in this key because today I can sing in this key, and then, like, you know, down on the road, my 23rd gig, I'm going, why did I pick this key? And you know, we're too proud to change the key of the song.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Well,
But it's what Danny actually has told me once, just like, don't be proud, just make sure that you can still sing 5 years from now. You know,
Right.
make sure that the vocal health, it's your top priority.
that's what I'm working on now. Ever since like little hiccup I had toward the end of last year, so I've been working on that vocal
Yeah,
health
you actually took a month
situation.
off. What happened there?
It was more like it was actually more than 2 months.
Because I know you couldn't sing there for a
Well,
while.
I could sing. I just shouldn't sing. I had some vocal problems, like I was telling you before.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
What
tell
happened
the
there?
world
We
about
want to
all my
know.
vocal problems.
We want to know.
Yeah, no, I just had some nodules on my cords. and
Actually,
had
I do
some
have one,
swelling
too.
and some issues with something called Ranke's edema.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to take like a serious break. And not even talk, which of course was impossible, but you know, I
You
really
tried.
did try for a while there.
Did you go
and-
camping for like a month with
No, but I
nobody
should
around?
have, because I have a bunch of camping equipment
Oh, that's
that I haven't used in forever.
I love camping. I write some really cool songs camping.
I love
you know.
sitting around a campfire and playing and singing, and
Me too.
I miss that. We
As
need
soon
to
as
do
we
that.
can,
Let's
we
plan a
should.
camping trip.
We should. You
All
know,
right,
Kat
everybody,
loves
we're
it.
doing a camping trip. You're coming with us.
Only singers allowed. And cat. I'm kidding. Totally. I think it's important for us to get together with other artists too. Because maybe you're feeling a little stuck or trapped, and you're indecisive of what you're doing with your life, and you're really not happy where you are. And then someone comes and they're like, you know, I'm doing this and that. And then you feel a little inspired,
Yeah.
and you get the little spark, and you go home a little happier. You go like, man, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to play the guitar. I'm going to write. And then you get
I've
like
been trying to do that
happy.
more, you know. It's true, because when you are doing what you're, you know, called to do or meant to do, you're in your best space. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, I don't know if I told you were talking about quarantine and all the little things that you can get done during quarantine if you're not focusing on music, like going through storage.
Oh, yeah.
All that crazy stuff. Well, I actually tried to teach myself. I used to play piano as a child, like
Cool.
not really for a long time, but I played piano. I played flute in middle school. I played the snare drum in middle school. I played a saxophone and an alto. What was it? The Christmas program. It was like two
Holy
songs, you know what I
moly.
mean? But
That's
in
amazing.
band, when I was in band.
But you
It
loved
wasn't the
learning that
marching
stuff.
band, but I learned how to play, you know,
Yeah.
multiple instruments. And I can still pick them up and go deedle, you know, a little bit. But but I taught myself the beginning part of She's Got Away on piano
Okay.
by Billy Joel. And like, it's funny because you go through spurts. Like I did that for like a week. I worked on that whole part over and over till I
Yeah.
got it what I think is right.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of stopped, you know, and like I played guitar until I got calluses on my fingers for like 2-3 weeks straight.
Awesome.
And then something else happened, and I sort of was peeling off the last callus the other day. I'm like, dang, I gotta
You know
go
what?
through that again.
I was peeling my calluses
know?
yesterday, and I'm going, fuck. I peeled it off.
I love the little F-bomb F coming out of your mouth with your little logo
On the logo.
your logo for your this.
I think it's
girl.
very appropriate.
Well, it fits you. It's fitting.
But going back to that subject, it's funny that you mentioned that, you know,
Off
you
and
do a
on,
little
off
bit
and on.
here, a little bit of there.
Two
I
steps
think
forward.
we are so highly so creative, and so we get bored very easily. I get
Distracted.
bored so easy, so I have to do a lot of stuff at the same time. I have to be learning the guitar, I have to be working out, and I have to be learning Pro Tools, and I have to be like, you know, clean. A house has to be clean, and I have to be learning how to edit videos, and I have to like be writing new songs, and then I'm listening to do new artists, and like digging new shit.
my
Like,
God, we need
it's
you to
so
come
much
over
fun.
and crack the whip because I want to be you.
No, but the problem
are
with
so
that is that I don't
regimented.
get anything done. I do,
That's
but it
not
takes
true.
longer. But when I do, I get a bunch of stuff done at the same
Right,
time. You know?
right.
Okay, so
Multitasking.
now I can record my.
But you're very good
song,
at that.
And then
Scheduling your time and regimenting, you know, this hour for this and this 2 hours for that. And I really admire you
well, the
for
quarantine has
You-
been perfect for me.
that. You definitely are one of the mentor types in my life where I look up to you and your practicing abilities and your stick-to-itiveness.
I think
It's easy to get distracted and go,
it
I'm
is.
like shit right now, and
Yeah.
you know,
I suck at the guitar. Well,
right.
man,
I'm not very good at guitar.
play
so.
the guitar then.
Right.
Are you practicing? No.
bar chords. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ask Billy Strings if he didn't practice the guitar.
You're gonna have to tag him in this.
I'm gonna. He's been and Marcus King, like such young kids. I'm gonna call them kids because I'm old, and they are like
Right.
26.
We're not gonna talk about
and they've
old
been doing
young
this
lady.
stuff. I feel so old. No,
Wait
but
till you're my age.
they've been doing this stuff for a long time. It just happened that I heard of them now, but very inspired by them. So I'm inspired to write. I'm inspired to become a better guitar player. That's why I listen to new stuff, because it gives me new perspective. I'm like,
Right.
motherfucker,
Right.
this is badass. I want to be like that,
It's funny because you just kind of reminded me about asking me the question about music when I was young, and I didn't even mention my dad and my
right.
brother both played guitar, and we were in the Bible Belt. We had church every Sunday and Bible study on Wednesday nights, and we had campfires that we would sit
Right.
around and play, Christian songs too, and praise the Lord and everything.
Yeah.
And I started really early with singing, doing that. But when you were asking about musical influences, I completely didn't say. Just realized
That's
I didn't
okay.
mention
Now
that there
we're
was
at it.
also music in my family. So I remember listening to Phil Kagi is someone that I was really early on listening to. Was a contemporary Christian guy at the time. And then I also have vague memories of pulling albums out when I was really young. And Charlie Rich, if you happen to see The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, was one of my favorites. I used to run around the house singing that. But in my teenage years and moving into that era, I would lay between the speakers. This is why I can't hear, aside from playing with loud-ass bands all the time. I would lay down and turn the two, 3-foot speakers inward and lay my head between them and play one of the albums I just bought, whether it was Scorpions or Motley Crue or
And spend hours in there just on your own listening to music.
Bon Jovi, or I had a Quiet Riot album. I had, I didn't have a lot of music collection, but what I had, I played over and over on full blast, my head between the speakers. So,
I actually have
that
memories
was a weird
of myself
segue.
doing
I realized that. Sorry about that.
No,
but,
I have memories of myself doing that when I was a little girl. I started with kids music, and I was in the choir. Is that what you call it at church?
Music
I
class for
sang,
me, yeah.
I sang in church too. My mom didn't go to church, but because they had music there, I would go by myself
Good for
and
you.
just sing.
Everybody needs some church in their life, I think.
Yeah, that really brought a lot of stuff that today I am. Like a nice girl.
I love you.
I'm a good girl.
You are a good girl. You're
Overall.
an amazing girl.
But I remember and my mom be like, you gotta listen to that again. Man, I listened to Iron Maiden because she had albums. Iron Maiden, Pink Floyd. Obviously, Pink Floyd is
yeah.
my favorite band because of her.
Oh my God, the albums back then too. I'm the worst person in the world with names and titles. But of course I can name 20 of them right off the bat. But the 70s and 80s eras and the dance music, Doobie Brothers, everything from Prince to freaking Beatles, Doobie Brothers, Zeppelin. Everything in between Kiss.
Bonnie Raitt,
from
Stevie
Kiss to
Nicks.
Scorpions. Yes, of course. Etta and Ella and Billy.
Oh my God.
All those. Sheryl
Heart.
Crow, Bonnie Raitt, obviously Stevie Nicks. Susan Tedeschi, someone I
Oh my
didn't,
God,
I didn't
yeah.
know about her until I don't know how many years
You know
ago,
who introduced
20
me
years
to
ago.
them? Tommy
Tommy Pittam?
Pittam. Yeah.
Oh, man,
He's like, Tots, you
she's-
gotta sing one of their songs. I think it was
Midnight
Midnight
in
in
Harlem.
Harlem. And then we did another one later on.
I just did one for the Musicians New Year's. It's called. See, I told you I'm really.
You can nail her stuff, that's
Oh,
for sure.
Well, thank you, but so can you.
I love singing. She's such. I love singing her stuff. She's
I'll never
so
forget. You're like, oh, she's amazing. I love what she adds.
And she's a badass guitar player.
Oh my god, I know. And she's with Derek Trucks.
Yeah.
And he's
And you know, Derek
Their whole
Trucks
band is
played
incredible.
with Marcus King in the album. You know, he has some
Oh,
stuff with
cool.
it. It's a little scene there.
Little collaboration.
Yeah.
I've seen Susan a few times.
You did.
Yeah, I actually got to go down to a little backstage area kind of thing down below. What was it? Theater, the Orpheum, I want to say. It's like a room downstairs where the whole band came out and visited with their friends and stuff. And that was pretty cool. I got to meet her and take pictures with all of them. I've gotten a lot of opportunities to meet and be around and in the presence of some really iconic, incredible people in my life.
Right.
And it's just almost mind-blowing. I mean, NAMM, before I even knew Mitch and all the people I've met through Ultimate Jam Night and all these amazing people that I've had the opportunity to play with these last couple years, I was building the Daddario booth for,
All right.
I think, about 7 years. I was a trade show, 12 years I was a trade show installer. I worked for the local 831, which is the people who set up and tear down all the trade shows. So if you've been to NAMM or Comic-Con or the LA Auto Show or any of those shows, I'm a certified journeyman, and I would build and tear down these structures.
What the fuck?
And well, so Daddario.
I can't help myself.
I know, right? It's hilarious. Daddario, which I know how to say because I know the owners of Diadario, everyone calls it. They get their
I call
strings
Daddario.
from- Yeah, no, what you're Brazilian, so you don't count.
probably.
I'm just kidding. No, you
That's
say
true,
it right
that's
on
true.
purpose.
I see how
You
the
know
fuck
what
I
I
want.
mean. I'm playing with you. So the Daddario booth, which started out as one thing and morphed into a two-story and then morphed into a whole nother thing that they have going on now. But I've met and had signings and seen so
Have you ever
many.
sang at the NAMM? Actually performed? Because they just started doing the Ultimate Jam, right?
Almost. I almost did. Yeah. I was trying to. Polly had said something to me about getting in on this last one, but there were so many people flying in from other places that they have records have toured the world, so he needed to keep the stage a little
Sharp.
more known, more known
yeah.
artists. So maybe in the future
you're
I'll jump
super
up there
known
with him.
here.
Yeah,
Like Debbie Holiday, super known. She played, That was some
She's amazing.
really
I
amazing.
love Debbie
Actually,
Holiday.
Julia Lage
yeah, she
played,
did.
and Richie
with
Cotton
Delana.
played last year. Yeah, they did.
I love
And Richie,
Delana.
Julia was sick as a dog. We
Oh,
were
was
both
she?
sick. I couldn't go. We think we had freaking coronavirus. I was in bed for 3 days, and she ended up in the hospital.
Right.
We had cough, fever, everything. It was right at that time.
You know what? I got sick. They call it namthrax. When you go to NAMM and you end up sick, they call it namthrax. But I didn't. I didn't get namthrax, but at the end of February, early March, I got really sick, and I think that I probably had it too.
Yeah, really?
I know a lot of people that got sick around that time. It was like before. It was right before all this came to our attention.
She did kill it in the name. Poor thing. But she killed it.
But man, that was when Delana was in town. And I
Right.
got to see Delana do a show. Oh, I'm not going to remember the name of it. Nancy Souter Rest, if I say her name right, and her husband have a place out in, what's it called? Close to Corona, kind of
Okay.
Riverside area. I'd have to look it up. I don't want to get on my phone and try to do that right now. But she plays this amazing show at this venue, which is in these people's home. They have a museum.
Did I
in
see
their
something
home.
on YouTube with you, her, and Mitch?
You did. Mitch played an
that was
acoustic show with
awesome.
her.
Ah.
And Steve and I went out to see it at this woman's amazing home museum.
Okay.
And what she does is she, like, about 3 or 4, maybe 5 times a year, she has one of her favorite artists come and play in her living room. And they take
Damn.
all the furniture out and they set up all the chairs and they make a stage
How cool.
in their house, which is a museum of memorabilia that you would not believe. I mean,
Really?
it's so much that you'd have to take a week to see it all.
Oh,
it's
wow.
incredible.
Cool.
I'm sorry,
And-
I can't.
and
I'm
I
sorry,
know-
I can't say the name of it right now. But
And I know that you guys played it there with her. You played with her there.
Well, she played there, and I was in the audience, and she called me up to do a song.
And it's
with
on
her.
YouTube, you guys. You
And
can check
I didn't
it
know
out.
what I was gonna do. She goes, "I'm not telling you what it is." I was
Well,
like, "Oh
she
my god!"
knows
So it's
any-
in Upland,
Okay.
and darn it, I thought I had the name of it, but I don't.
It doesn't matter. We just want to
Something
hear.
cool to check out. But yeah, Delana is just one of my
So what it was?
favorite people.
What did you end up singing?
The Rose. Yeah, The Rose. I just backed her up on it, and unless did she give me a verse? I think I just backed her up. I was like, no, I don't want to sing. This is your show. Don't
Steal the fucking show, girl. I'm kidding.
no way.
That's so cool.
No,
Yeah, she's cute.
I wish she was closer, man. I just love her so much, man. She's such a cool person.
I'm not sure if I got to personally meet her.
You
but
did.
I've heard.
I think you met her at the standing room, and you may have come to a party at Mitch's after. You may not have been there at that party. I'm not sure. But she came to standing room a couple times, 2 years in a row. When
Where
she was
is
in
she?
California.
She live around here,
Holland somewhere. She's far away. Yeah.
So what are you looking for? Obviously, I know you're looking for to play music, but
Excuse me.
anything else besides the music that you can't wait to do? Like maybe traveling and as soon as you can?
Well, yeah. I'm not looking at a whole lot of trips lately, right now, based on, the situation with where's that money going to come from.
Right.
But getting back to work, creating a livelihood again, hopefully around music more so than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
Because, like I said,
No, I
I've always
feel you.
been a 3-job Jill of trades. But
I can't wait to travel.
I'm a little stumped at that question. I think I've been stuck in quarantine too long. I mean, certainly I think we're allowed to go to the beach now, and this last few days I've
We should
definitely been
go.
craving going to the beach.
Let's
so
go.
I want to jump in the water and get some
Yeah.
sun. I definitely want to get out and about with friends, you
Yeah,
know, and
I know.
and do some fun stuff like camping maybe.
Yeah. Man,
but-
every time I get in a Zoom call, I get so excited. All these people hanging out. I'm like, oh my God,
know.
I miss being out.
I know. It's been cool that we
With
can
my
stay in
friends.
touch that way, though. I've actually enjoyed the fact that I've been able to see people's faces with these
Yeah.
house party and Zoom and Facebook video chat and what's it called, FaceTime and all that. It's been nice to have those. I do want to see my family. I do want to travel
Yeah.
back and see my family.
I've only been able to see my mom, but she's also in quarantine, and I've been pretty much stuck here too.
You know what's crazy is that it's like quarantine. It's like I feel like the attention of course, the tragedy with George Floyd and the protests and the riot and the looting, sort of made coronavirus. Like, did everyone forget we're in the middle of a virus here?
I know.
And the numbers went up right away, and
know.
the curve. That we
I'm
had just
scared that in
flattened,
2 weeks it's gonna
be bad
Oh,
again. I know.
and then we just waited all this time to get some restaurants to open. Now
And then they
now
went-
forget it.
and they had to close because of what this happened.
Because of that.
And a lot of the mom and pops that might have survived this, stint of time
Yeah.
if they haven't already closed and they were about to open and be available to consumers again, got their stores looted. So they got all their stuff taken. It's just, I'm sorry to bring it back to that.
No, because I'm thinking about Hermosa Beach and Mike's shop.
Yes,
guitar.
he moved,
He
actually.
moved, and I can't fucking wait to go see it.
I know, I wanna
but
go
I
see it,
can't
too.
because it's because
Well,
I
I
can't.
thought he did a little opening door ceremony thing on Facebook the other day, some kind of
okay.
announcing that he's there and thanking the people who
I got my hummingbird
helped
from
him.
him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I want to.
yeah.
I want to ask you about that hummingbird a little later too, because I keep hearing the name and.
It's a
I just have
Gibson
an old
hummingbird.
guitar.
It's it takes a punch. Everybody that plays rock, from rock to southern rock, they can play this stuff. You can see it. The biggest artists are always playing the hummingbird. It's the best. It's the better guitar I've ever had.
Billy strings.
He does not play that one. Actually, he has a signature guitar, I
Oh, okay.
believe. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Thinking about Andre Nieri, he has one. But yeah, I love playing this guitar. It's one of those guitars that you start playing, it sounds so good. It plays by itself that you go like,
an
wow,
automatic.
this sounds like a good song. But if you played in another guitar, you would be like, oh, maybe not so much. But now I'm totally a sucker for it, and I don't like playing other guitars.
Right. It's like your baby.
Actually, I have a Yamaha for a C40 nylon strings. It was my first guitar. I bought it in Brazil and I brought it here, and I love it. I love
Really?
playing it because it sounds terrible. but it's my first guitar.
You're funny. I have an old Yamaha. I have no idea what it's. I don't know the brand or. I mean, I know it's a Yamaha, but I can't tell you the letter.
Right.
Unless I go look at it. But I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I had a bass. I bought a bass guitar.
You brought your
when I was
bass here
20.
one time.
Yeah.
Is it the same one?
Yeah, it's a PVT 40 wood grain.
Okay.
Heavy as F bass. And heavy as
Did you ever
fuck.
play it?
Well, I played it on stage once. You know how I played on that videos? I played it on stage once in Mobile back a million years ago. And I learned this song. I learned 3 songs to play with Ricochet on stage because we were breaking out into more players and we had a drummer and all that. And I was like, well, I want to play a couple songs on bass. And I had bought this guitar at a pawn shop for $100.
Wow.
And
I think my bass is about.
meanwhile, me not using my brain, this girl friend of mine at the time was going through nail school, and she goes, "Let me be my guinea pig. I'm gonna put fake nails on you." I was like, "All right, go ahead." I've never had nails. I've been a massage therapist and a bartender. I can never have nails.
Well, I can't either.
Anyway, she puts on this set of fake nails. And I realize after she's put them on that this gig I'm going to play these 3 songs on is coming up in 4 days.
Well, 4 days is good.
So I'm like, well, no.
Enjoy it
I
for
couldn't
4
hit
days.
anything but all the other strings with these nails. So anyway, I played the 3 songs. But no, all I'm trying to get at is that I love bass. I've always been super drawn to bass. It just, of course, vocals, of course, the guitar, of course, all the melody and the beautiful music that comes from keys and everything else. But bass is like when my head is bopping, my hand is doing air guitar. It's air bass that I'm doing, not air guitar. You know, and I haven't gone there yet. Like I said, I tried to do some piano and try to do some guitar. I need to pick up the bass.
I haven't
and learn a
either.
couple
The bass
tunes.
is in the living room right now, and it's just dusty right now.
Dan McNay, as a matter of fact, tried to get me to give him that bass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's probably gonna rag me about it.
What does he want with it? He has a.
He wanted
doesn't
to
want
trade
$100.
me for this amazing microphone that I was supposed to go meet with him and take a look at it. It's like a studio mic. I can't remember what it was called. But he ended up getting one, and he's like, "Yep, you could have had the studio mic. You could have traded me your BV, and you'd have this amazing microphone. I'm a bass player. You're a singer. Da da da." I was like, "I know, but it's my only one."
I know. Don't give it up.
It's so funny. But yeah, so that's something he's probably not going to let me live down. But I love Dan. He's such a great guy too. There's so many many great people. I feel really fortunate to be in this circle of the world, because not only the South Bay with everybody in South Bay Jam and your band and all the local bands that play around here, to Mitch and all the people that stretch all the way up to the Whiskey, to all the people that are playing shows up there and at the Viper Room, and I've just met so many cool, awesome, talented people.
Yeah, it's like a family.
It is. It's like a family, and I feel like that's a blessing.
Man, I spend my Christmas and my New Year's with my band members, with my musician friends. When Steve and Aragorn put the Musician New Year's show every December with a bunch of South Bay artists, that was my favorite night of the fucking year. It was like
awesome.
You just get to, killer band, killer drummers always, between Brian Holly and I don't know, everybody that, Ryan Krieger, the guys that played Aragorn and Russ and Justin, Kevin, Steve,
Heath,
and the horns,
Francis,
Heath. Oh my God! And then you
Danny,
go like Danny, and you go and Lindsay Harper,
and
Veronica. And you go. Can this night last forever? Can we do this at least twice a year?
I know.
But it's a lot of work. I know he works on it. He starts working on it in July.
I mean, we couldn't even fit all the people in the building.
At the saloon.
It was at the saloon, and it was at...
he tried a few other places,
where was the last
Man,
one?
I don't know. Oh, was it?
Standing room? Standing room.
No.
Yeah, and he had... who's the guy that won the vocal show that lives here? Justin
Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Right.
And then there was this other guy that came up, and he was rapping and spitting.
Oh,
and
okay.
Lindsay was
See,
sitting
I
behind
wasn't
him.
here for
I think you were
for the
out of
last-
town,
I was
actually.
in the East Coast and I couldn't make it, but it
Yeah.
was. I really wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always been a lot of fun getting to perform at those. Steve's invited me to perform at those for the last
He's
few years.
incredible. I want to get him in an interview too. Get
You
him in to talk
should.
about some gear. I'll just leave the room. He can talk. Blah 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 blah. And then I'll come back.
Talk
He'll
about
still be
his
talking about gear.
spaceship. His spaceship.
Yeah, yeah. Such a
Oh, man.
talented artist.
Great people around here.
Yeah,
Pretty
good
awesome.
soul. You
Why
know,
don't we write a song together?
well, we should. I was talking about just stay here today and let's work. Work with beer.
You only, I'm going to have to rag you on this a little bit.
What?
You just offered me one of 2 beers.
It's because I drank them
And I'm
last night.
done with this beer, Toddy. And now I want another one.
Kara,
So
I
would
could stay.
never do that to you.
I know. I'm a shitty friend.
No, you're not. You're like my best friend. I love you to death.
I could stay here with you and talk with you for the next 9 hours.
Okay.
You know, I have still a lot that I want to talk to you about. Maybe you come back to the show, do episode 2 with me.
I would love to.
A continuation with Kara Turner. Maybe there we'll have the website. We'll have some new stuff out.
That sounds
Maybe
great.
no for sure. And
Maybe
we'll
I'll
have you
remember-
singing live.
Oh.
Wish you. No, I still miss you.
I wish you were here.
I wish you were here. And still miss you with Mitch Perry. You know.
That would be great. That'd be great. Plus it'll give me an opportunity to mention all the things I meant to mention this time.
It's just so much. It's
so-
just so
it's-
much.
it's also
you have such a rich career.
and it's spontaneous, and
It
you're on
is.
a recording.
And that's what I
you're like,
wanted to
oh,
do.
I forgot to say.
Oh yeah, there's always something to be said. So we'll do it again.
Sounds good.
And I'm just really fortunate to have you here, have you in my life, get to see you perform live, and be a friend.
I love you, and I love that you're my
Thank you for
friend.
supporting the
And I'm
podcast because this
so
is a new
fortunate
thing.
to have you, girl.
Thanks, I'm learning.
Thank you for
We're
asking
learning
me
together.
to come. It was
Thank you.
awesome.
Well, we're gonna
Appreciate
go get some more beers, right?
it. Right, definitely.
And work on some stuff. And you guys, thanks for listening. Check out Kara Turner. Stay in touch with her. Check out I Still Miss You from the Mitch Perry group. You can find it on YouTube.
the whole album's called Music Box.
The whole album's called Music Box. There is also an interview with Mitch Perry. So you guys check it out and you're going to get to hear everything about the album.
And what's the name of your show?
The Way of the Artist.
The Way of the Artist.
Just a look inside of an artist's mind and a hang with a friend.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for hanging out and tuning in and subscribing. I will see you next time.
Subscribe to the channel.
Subscriber! And have a wonderful day and rock the fuck on.
Woohoo!
Woo, Kara!
Love you, Toddy.
Love you.